Well, just like that, Gallagher's gone. All right, everyone, welcome back to the American Blues podcast. Sorry, this one's a little bit delayed after the City game. Work has just been too busy. I've been too tired. But let's get on with the big news today, which is that Conor Gallagher is officially leaving Chelsea to go to Atletico Madrid. Look, I think this is a fantastic signing for Atletico. He is the quintessential Diego Simeone player. He will run and run and run and just keep running when everyone else is tired. So I think this is a great signing for them. What a perfect player for them. And I hope he has a fantastic career at Atletico. Now, there's a lot of talk online about how disgraceful this is, and I agree. I think the way we've let him go is honestly disgusting, and I'm so disappointed with this club. You know, Connor is Chelsea through and through, came through the academy, a huge Chelsea fan too. You could see how much it meant to him last season to not just play but be captain, and to just let him go like this, where we freeze him out of the first team, make him go train with the kids, not even take him on tour, and then essentially tell him that, Atletico have bid, we've accepted, and he has to go. I understand that the club offered him a 3-year contract with pretty decent wages. If you compare against the rest of the packages we've given our new players of 7-8 years, a 3-year package is essentially just we don't really care about you. Here's a little bit of thanks for what you did last season, but overall you're not really in our plans. And that's just not really a good message for a player to hear or see. So I understand why he's leaving. Now, if you talk about a footballing aspect, do I think Conor Gallagher has a role under Maresca? Not at all. I think there are far better players than him on the team that we actually need in that number 8 position. He's not a very good 6, and we have plenty there already, especially with the comeback of Lavia and just how incredible he's looked in preseason. I get it. I get that the club wanted to part ways with him, but there are better ways to do it. There's way better ways to do it that are respectful to a academy player, instead of just tossing him out and telling him, hey, here's a deal, take it or leave it kind of situation. So for that, I'm extremely disappointed. And I think it hurts even more after seeing what this new ownership has done to the club over the last almost 3 years, just completely chopping and changing everything, spending just unbelievable amount of money on highly questionable players such as Mudryk. We'll get to him later. And committing to them, where it seems like all these academy players who are, really the heart and soul of the club, we are just selling them off just so we can make a quick profit, make the books look better because we spent so much player money on mediocre players. But, it is what it is. Overall, I said earlier in the summer, I'm fine with Gallagher going. I really was. Trevor Chelesa is the one that I really do not want the club to sell, and I don't understand why we've iced him from the first team when clearly we could use someone like him on defense. But it's done. Let's just move on. Now, go back to the City game. Man, that was a tough game, especially in terms of just how horrendous the defensive midfield were. And I think part of it you can blame down to just, it's the first game back for Caicedo. He's clearly rusty. You could see when he was rusty at the beginning of last season, he is known to make some crazy mistakes. And as he gets more game time, as he gets more game speed, he'll get better. I have no doubt of it, because he was one of our most important players at the end of the last season. And he stopped making those errors too. But overall, our defense midfield need a lot of work. They need to learn how to play together, because right now, even City's B and then C team, if they put on any kind of semi-coordinated press, our defenders, goalie, midfield, they all panic and they start making just wayward passes. Just nothing really works out. And I start that issue from Sanchez. He might look like he's good with the ball at his feet. He might look like he has the confidence to do so, but he just doesn't have the skill to do so. He constantly puts players in bad position with passes that are just slightly off. But that little bit of a difference is the difference between being able to play out of a press and not being able to. So I'm not going to be too negative on a preseason game. If we're going to make errors, I'd rather make it in preseason. And clearly this was more of a game just to experiment and see a different formation of 4 at the back. Let's see how Mudryk would do on the right. Let's see how Gusto would be more as a traditional wing back and left wing. and we got some answers. So if there's any takeaway from the City game, it's just here are the things that did not work that we should never consider again. First off being Mudryk. Man, it's been almost 2 seasons, I think even a little bit longer, but Mudryk has shown absolutely nothing. I legitimately think he is one of the worst professional players I have ever seen, not in terms of talent, but in terms of game knowledge, of just knowing that he's on a team, that he needs to be in certain positions, make certain runs. I understand he's been liking a lot of social media stuff. Number one, dude, get off social media. You're on it way too much. And he's been liking a lot of posts saying that people should pass to him more. That's not the problem. We do not need to pass to Mudryk more, because every time he gets a pass, he either misplaces his return pass, he passes too quickly, or he fails at one-on-one, which is like his main thing. His main thing is speed, and he should be able to take on people one-on-one, but he consistently either loses the ball or puts teammates in really bad positions with just like such a nonchalant, quick pass. It's like he expects everyone else to make up for his deficiencies because he's so fast and that's his only thing. And he doesn't even use it pace well. Like, he doesn't run past the back four like even Madueke or Sterling do. It just doesn't make sense. Like, he's just probably one of the worst signings I can remember in the past 20 years. I don't even care if he goes to another team and succeeds. Good on him. But for Chelsea, for this team, he's not it. He doesn't work on the right wing. He doesn't work on the left wing. We should not be starting with him in any game. I'd say he barely deserved time to play in cup games. I honestly think the best thing to do is just to pay out his contract. Just say, hey, look, we made a mistake. Go find a new team, please. Play somewhere else in a lower league where not everyone is as technically gifted, and you can just use your pace and make that of what you will. Right? Sorry to be harsh, but it is what it is. Another thing that didn't work, Gusto is not a left winger. I don't like right-footed players playing left wing, because like England in the Euros with Trippier, if he gets the ball on that left side, there's only one thing that's going to happen, which is he's going to try to cut back onto his right foot. That really limits options and makes our play very, very dependable. He does not take people on one-to-one. I don't think he won a single one-to-one duel against City. And you could tell, like, that's not his game, so let's not put him in that position. I'm fine with Gusto as a traditional left back or inverted left back, but I'm not okay with him as left wing or a Chilwell, Reece James style of fullback that bombs on. That's not his game. He's way better in the inverted role. That's where you can see his natural talent, his athleticism, his ability to drive with the ball, but he is not a one-on-one winger, and we can clearly see that. So that did not work. Another thing that didn't work is Nkunku is 9. I did say in the last video, I think Nkunku can play so many positions up front, and even though 9 is an option for him, I don't think it's the best place for him. I think his best place is to play off of a striker like Guiu or maybe even Jackson. We need to really see them together a little bit more. But I think that's the perfect role for him, where he can come back, help in midfield. He can use his running skills. He can use his passing skills. What he's not good at is playing back to goal as a 9 or a false 9. That's not his game. And then if that happens, that means we are losing out on a goal scoring possibility in Guiu or Jackson or whoever else we decide to get in striker position. And that's just not good enough, because what we lack is consistency in finishing in our midfielders and wingers. And so we need someone up front who can consistently finish. And taking that person off just to have Nkunku play as 9, I don't think that's a good idea. And then we already talked about Sanchez. I know I keep saying this every game, but he's not it. I don't like that we've made him number 1. It's a little bit concerning that he played the whole game and Jorgensen didn't see even 1 minute. Maybe, hopefully, Jorgensen will just start in the next game and we'll get a full game of him and see what he's really like. But right now, Sanchez, it's just not happening. I promise you, if we start with him again this season, we will lose games because of him, because of errant passing or him just giving up goals. Sure, he's good with his hands, but he's so bad with his feet. And that's such a pivotal position in the way that this team is set up that we just cannot keep going forward with them. This is solely on the recruitment team. How can we have bought 3 goalies in the past 3 years, and so far none of them seem to be able to play in the style that we want? That is crazy. And we still have Kepa on the books. So what's happening with him? Who knows? Is Real Madrid going to take him back? I have no clue. But you know, and I know that Kepa is also not fit for this team. So the recruitment and goalie position has just been absolutely horrendous ever since Mendy. And I hope, man, I really hope Jorgensen is better than Sanchez. Otherwise, we are in deep trouble when it comes to trying to play off from the back this season. Now, let's try real hard to squeeze out some positive from this game. So one big positive is let's say we didn't make those errors. There were times that both Caicedo and Lavia were actually doing an okay job coordinating with each other, staying close to each other, and playing through the press. And when we were able to do that, then you can see that we are able to drive the ball forward, especially in the second half when Madueke and Sterling came on. We suddenly had options to run down the wings, long passes from our defense. That's what we need. All right, those are the positives. Yes, Madueke still has troubles finishing. Yes, he should have had another goal, or he still has just a little bit of issue with final third decision making. But you have to remember, he's incredibly young. You can see how talented he is. He is one of the only players on the team that can play on that right wing and consistently win 1v1s, consistently make the right runs past the defenders, and it opens up a long range option for us, and that is so important. And I genuinely think he'll become one of the best wingers in the league as long as we keep him and give him time to work out these mistakes. Remember, not even Vinicius was good the first or second seasons. He was misplacing passes, taking crazy shots to the point where his teammates didn't even really want to pass to him. And look where he is now. So Madueke is a key talent. You can see the talent that's there. We just have to nurture it. And then I do think with time and experience, our midfield and defense will solve out exactly how to play through a press. And if we can figure that out, this team will become very dangerous because we are incredibly good at progressing the ball up once we are able to break that first line of press. And we just need a little bit better final third decision making. And I think having someone like Palmer back, Jackson, Cucurella, all those players will add so much to this team going forward and in defense. So right now, I don't think it's time to get too down on the team. It's still preseason. This is a time to make experiments. This is a time to see where you can put certain players, what positions we can use. So then going forward, we know exactly what not to do. So hopefully next preseason game goes a little bit better. And I don't really want to see Mudryk again. I don't really want to see Sanchez again. And it would be nice to see either Jackson back. It looks like he's training with the team again. I don't know if he'll be fit in time, and it'll be really nice to see Jorgensen. So see you guys after the next game. Peace.